Thank you for tuning in. You're listening to What We Saw on Stolen Cable. This episode, I learned to be a true friend watching Beverly Hills Cop. I'm your host, Uncle Patches, and I'm here with...
Sinister Cinema.
Fantastic. This is a 80s classic film. This is one of the first major blockbusters of the era. I mean, this film really took off.
Oh, yeah, big time. And, of course, that was because of the star, Eddie Murphy, who plays Axel Foley in this movie. But very well known as a stand-up comedian, very successful in that regard. This is one of his first starring roles in a major motion picture. He transitioned very smoothly, seamlessly into acting. He had done some minor acting on Saturday Night Live beforehand. He is known for playing a wide range of very diverse characters.
Well, he showcased that a little bit here in this film. His breakout role was in 48 Hours.
Yes.
Because the lead in that film was Nick Nolte. And anything anybody remembers about that film, it's Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, for sure.
So he sold the show in that one. Then he got picked up for Trading Places with Dan Aykroyd.
Yes.
A little bit later on. And then he got this one, which really kicked him off.
Yeah. So those first two movies, he was kind of a sidekick. Wasn't or co-star.
Yeah, co-star.
But this one he was the star. It was his show, start to finish.
Yeah, and that is actually showcased a little bit here in the soundtrack of the film.
Yes.
I do believe he had a little bit of input on that. The soundtrack for this film is phenomenal.
One of the best. 80s films are known for having really good soundtracks, but this one was a cut above even that.
Well, this is like one of the first ones they decided they were going to really work in modern artists. I mean, well, the main tune, Axel F, that was kind of a synth pop type thing. But that one was a smash hit. That was U.S. Billboard Hot 100, made it all the way up to number 3. U.S. Adult Contemporary, number 1. U.S. Dance Club Songs, number 1. UK Singles, number 2. Canada, number 1. And Germany, top 5.
Wow. Amazing.
Now, we start off in the film with The Heat Is On.
This is also before internet as well, so, you know.
So we had The Heat Is On, which was another big hit, Glenn Frey. U.S. Billboard Hot 100, number 2. Mainstream Rock, number 1. Canada, number 1. And UK Top 20. Then, Pointer Sisters. My dad was a big fan of the Pointer Sisters.
Yeah.
Neutron Dance. That one had a Hot 100, number 6. Dance Club Songs, number 1. R&B Top 10. Canadian Top 10.
That is a song that when you hear it, you will hear it all day long. It'll be in your head. It's that catchy and it's that good.
Almost every other song on this list, I've got Patti LaBelle with New Attitude. I remember that one was all over the radio all the time.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That made it up to the Hot 100, 17, R&B number 1, Dance Club Songs number 1. Stir It Up was another one that Patti LaBelle had on the soundtrack. Made it up to 41 and for the Billboard Hot 100 and U.S. R&B Top 10. Do you really... by Junior. Now, I don't remember that one at all. I think that was the one dud that was on this.
Yeah, I don't remember even where it was placed in the movie, so.
Yeah. It was one of those generic 80s ones that they had on the radio just to fill time. But no, I mean, this one, they carried on with this same tradition for Beverly Hills Cop 2, which also had an awesome soundtrack. Well, we're not really into that one here. But I think the soundtracks that we have here are for these two films is one of the reasons why the third film flopped.
Yeah.
Because I was watching the third film a few years back, and I was like, I don't understand why I don't like this film. I mean, it's not a bad film, but I don't have the same love for it like I do the first two Beverly Hills Cops film. And I got to thinking about it. It's like the soundtrack sucks.
That's a good point. Something to definitely consider next time. Watch those movies. If you do watch those movies.
So back to the film, we've got Eddie Murphy. Now, I made a couple of notes here beforehand. Eddie Murphy is 23 when this film was made.
23.
Yes.
Very young man.
Yeah, he's now 65, so he's 15 years older than I am. I didn't realize we were that close in age. I always thought he was like in his late 20s in the film or early 30s, but no, he's a very young man in this film.
So the other actors in here, Judge Reinhold?
Yeah, Judge Reinhold was I don't know, he wasn't really part of the Brat Pack back in the day, was he?
No, I don't think so.
But he was in Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, he had a famous scene in that one.
Yep, very famous scene. So he kind of plays a young, naive cop in Beverly Hills.
I looked him up too. He was 27 when this film made.
27?
Yes.
Okay. So also still relatively young man as well. And then you have John Ashton, who played John Taggart, who was the more veteran cop.
I thought that guy was ancient when we were watching the film. And then you see him in the photos and stuff for Beverly Hills Cop 4 that came out on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks really, really old in that. Well, I do believe he died of, maybe a year after that film was made?
Yeah, it was really soon after.
But he was 54 when the film was made. He's one of that guys that you saw back in the day. He was in a lot of things that you just don't really remember. You remember seeing him, but you don't remember him being in there.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have Ronnie Cox as Lieutenant Bogomil.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was 46 in the film.
46. Okay.
Well, you know what he was most famous for from the 80s, right?
What's that?
It's RoboCop.
Oh, yeah.
He was the corporate. He wasn't the head guy in the corporate, but he was the one that was in charge of the program.
That's right.
Yeah, he was the villain at the end of the film. He was the one that was thrown out the window with the giant arms, the long arm setup. And then you got some generic people. Steven Berkoff, he played a common villain back in the day. Lisa Elbrock. Elbacher played Jenny Summers in the film. Wasn't really a love interest. It was an old high school buddy. That's what was weird about this film. There were no love interests or love triangles or anything going on at it.
Yeah,
it was a straight up buddy film.
Yeah, which was kind of strange.
They could have swapped her character out with a guy, and it would have been almost the same film, other than the fact that the villain was hitting on her the entire time.
Mm-hmm. So, for movies in general, there's usually some sort of side love story or something like that, but especially 80s films. They were really known for, kind of trying to push some sort of romantic scene at some point.
Yeah, a lot of times it's not necessary.
Yeah.
But, they've got a formula they got to stick to get it right in the system.
Mm-hmm.
James Russo played the buddy that gets killed at the beginning of the film, Mickey Tandino.
Yes.
Interesting fact about him, he looks so much like Frank Azaria.
Oh yeah. He does. He actually does.
As a matter of fact, I thought it was Frank Azaria, and I had to look it up to make sure that we had the right guy in there.
Yeah, you know what? That's true. I did think that at first as well. On rewatching it. I mean, obviously when I had seen it the first few times I'd seen it, I wouldn't even known who Frank Azaria was. So I wouldn't have made that connection then.
For those people out there that don't know who he is, Frank Azaria is like half the voices on The Simpsons.
Yes, he's a very prominent voice actor, and he does play a lot of the voices on The Simpsons, and used to play Apu for a long time, ever since the show began. Yeah, but there was a whole story about that if you feel inclined to look it up, if you don't know what that is.
Oh, Paul Reiser we had in the film.
Yeah, he plays a very bit part, considering how famous Paul Reiser was at the time.
What was he famous at the time? Because I don't think he did Mad About You until like the 90s, right?
Yeah, that's true.
But he did this film, and I think after this one he did Aliens.
Yes. Was Aliens.
Aliens, the sequel to Alien, yeah. Where he played Burke.
Yes.
The guy that tries to betray Ripley. And
mm-hmm. So it's not on your notes.
Oh, who's that?
Jonathan Banks.
Jonathan Banks.
Plays, I guess, right hand to the main villain. He is what most people these days would know as Mike Ehrmantraut.
Oh, from Breaking Bad, Mike. Oh, I had it in my written notes at the beginning of my notebook here.
Funny because he's very young man in this movie, and almost to the point where you don't recognize him. It took me a minute. Like that looks like, Mike from Breaking Bad. It couldn't be. It is.
Yeah, I have a hard time watching old stuff now because I get there and I'll watch it and then I'll pause it and I'll have to look somebody up. Where else do I know that guy from?
Of course, as soon as he talks, he has the same voice.
Well, he played the same character in everything. It was always Mike. He was always Mike from Breaking Bad in everything he ever did. He always that character, except...
That's true. Just
Breaking Bad, he fared a lot better all the way up until the end.
Yeah.
And in all the other films, he was a henchman, and he'd wind up getting shot or killed or thrown off a building or... But this is a fantastic film. This is a buddy cop film. And it really, really stands out. But it starts off with Axel Foley. He has an old friend who was a convict, dropped back into town. Apparently, he'd been away in Los Angeles.
Yeah, he gets himself into some trouble.
Well, yeah, I mean...
He tries to tell Axel about it, and...
He doesn't want to know because he's a cop now. And, of course, Axel's already in trouble with his boss because he was doing some undercover work that he wasn't supposed to be doing. But that's one thing about Eddie Murphy. He always seems to be playing a fast talker, con man type thing, confidence man, which is what he's good at.
Mm-hmm. So he's an undercover cop in this movie, and he plays the role of he's able to get into the criminals' heads because he is a former criminal himself. So he is able to play the role really well.
Well, Mikey's crimes in Los Angeles seem to catch back up to him because he winds up, they go out on a night drinking and Mikey gets shot in the head afterwards.
Yeah.
Axel gets knocked out. And then Axel wants to get in on it, but he's already in bed with his police chief. So he does what you would naturally do. You go on vacation, you solve the crime yourself. So he already had to lead to Los Angeles. He knew that's where he was going to going. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, it takes a lot for, to have a buddy is one thing, but, to have your buddy murdered right next to you and then for you to travel 2,282 miles 1 day and 7 hours in your beat up Chevy Nova to go to Los Angeles and take care of business.
Back in the 80s, too. Wow. I mean, most of the highways were still 55.
Oh, God, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
I was doing while you were away, I was doing the vanishing point thing, and I did the numbers on that one.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, but you have to understand that may have been a 17-hour drive nowadays. But we're talking about 1971, and the highway system wasn't nearly what it is now. Yeah.
We didn't have interstates back then. I think the interstate was even new in the 80s, right? Did we even have interstates in the 80s?
They're still working on the interstate right now. I mean,
yeah, that's true. But
a block from my house, they've got an overpass going in that's been going in for the last 8 years.
That's true. But so... Yeah, most highways back in the 80s were still 55. You would see maybe 60 every once in a while, but the highways didn't get bumped up to 60 and 65 until near the 90s.
Oh, well, we live in Texas, so we go up to 75, 80 miles an hour here.
Yeah, a lot of the highways here are 75, sometimes 80.
You drive out all that way to find out who killed your best friend or your friend from school or your buddy that you used to hang out with. And what's the first thing you do? You got to find a place to stay, right?
That's right.
All right. So I think he went to the Beverly Hills Hotel or something like that. I don't think it's an actual...
It was some kind of fancy hotel.
Oh, yeah. It was definitely a 5-star hotel. And I paid attention. I wrote down the dollar amount on that. Yeah. And we're looking at $235 per night. And that was an outrageous dollar amount back in the day.
Oh, yeah. And
today it's like almost standard. I think you're lucky to get that rate in Los Angeles now, unlike a La Quinta. Oh, yeah. So he gets into the hotel, and then he starts doing his investigation. First thing he does is show up to see Jenny. Mm-hmm. And who does he run into? Bronson Pinchot. So Bronson Pinchot, I mean, I don't have him listed here in the notes, but I saw an interesting thing about him. He did a...
Oh, yes, of course.
He got a TV role because of his part in this film.
Yes.
And apparently his part in this film really skyrocketed him up. I don't know. I didn't see it. I didn't see the allure of it. He played Sarge.
Yes. And it was got a pretty long-running role on Perfect Strangers.
Perfect Strangers, yeah.
Just, based off of that character.
Eddie Murphy was very gracious. Because I got there and I was watching the film again, and Bronson Pinchot was doing his part. Mm-hmm. And you see Eddie just sitting there. I was like, all right, man, work. You can see it in his face. You just let it go. Yeah. This is your shot.
So there's also a kind of a, I guess, famous scene from the movie. It was completely unscripted, as I come to learn. You may have heard this on other people's videos and YouTube, stuff like that. He's walking down the street, and there's these two guys walking by, and one of them's wearing a Michael Jackson jacket, and the other one's wearing, I forget what the other guy's wearing, but the one guy's kind of dressed up like Michael Jackson in Thriller. And Eddie Murphy walks by them and just starts laughing.
Well, they're leather outfits. They look like leather tracksuits.
Yes.
And they've got, they're red and black. So the one that he's laughing at is the red one with the black trimming. And the other one is the exact same outfit, or at least very similar, but it's in black with red trimming.
Yeah. So he just starts laughing uncontrollably, and that's apparently was unscripted. They just happened to be filming and him walking down the street when those two guys passed by.
Well, you know what's also funny about that, right? I think he had those outfits personally for his stand-up routine that he did. I think that same year or year after.
Delirious, he did wear the red leather outfit, if I remember right.
And if you watch, what was it, Dave Chappelle, The Chappelle Show, I think his brother, Charlie Murphy, talks about how those leather outfits got tore up at a party. Some big muscular guy came in and put it on and was busting out of them.
Pulled a fat guy in a little coat.
Yeah. But this is a great film. I don't know if you've seen it. If you haven't, here's a problem I'm having. I'm old, and I just seem like this movie is only like 10, 15 years old. And this movie's 40 years old. I talked to my kids about it, and I was like, hey, you remember Beverly Hills Cop and this scene? And they were like, I don't know what you're talking about. What is Beverly Hills Cop? I mean, is that thing on Netflix? Or there's like part 4 there. I'm like, well, yeah, it started with this one. But it's a great film. It is a great film. It's like I said, it's a buddy cop film. Mm-hmm. We get into it, and he immediately gets arrested.
Yes.
After trying to do an investigation. He talks to Jenny, gets a lead, goes to the guy's place, and they throw him out a window, and he immediately gets arrested. Doesn't tell anybody he's a cop. They find out a little bit later on, and that's when we run into Ronnie Cox as Bogomil, Judge Reinhold as Billy Rosewood, and John Astin as John Taggart.
Yes.
Rosewood and Taggart are his main contacts in the film.
Yes. And
if you're watching this film in the 80s, you learn how to disable a police car.
That's true. I guess this would be the way to disable any car.
Well, yeah. I'm pretty sure it'd still work today, too.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how if it would happen as fast as it did in the movie, but...
True. Well, we got higher compression engines in there. It may shoot the banana right out.
That's true. But he did stuff like 2 or 3 of them in there, though.
That's true. Yeah, he wanted to make sure it went down. So he pranks the guy. He's being... he gets released by the police after having a disagreement with Taggart.
Yeah, so Taggart's kind of the older veteran cop, a little more no nonsense. So he's not buying any of the stuff. Rosewood is more kind of forgiving, I guess, and wants to kind of just believe everything that he says. Oh,
he reminds me of a puppy. He just wants to be everybody's friend. All right, here's what I got out of this. Mm-hmm. One of the themes of the films is that they were trying to revamp the LAPD. Historically, if you know anything about classic Hollywood, LAPD has been one of the nastiest police forces out there. with abusive cops and stuff like that. And I think what we were trying to get from that was Taggart was a part of that old crew. So he wasn't putting up with anything, and he was kind of free with his fists on it. Where, Billy Rosewood was the new guy coming up. I mean, he was still a detective, but he was a little bit more understanding. So in this interaction, Axel Foley is given a cock and bull story. Taggart's not following for it. And then they start mouthing off at each other, and Foley gets hit. That's when Ronnie Cox's character, Bogomil, comes in and kind of breaks everything up and asks him if he wants to press charges against Taggart. And I think this is one of the bonding moments that we had in the film, because they're very subtle about it, because we run into these guys, and they're very confrontational to begin with. And then just at some point in the film, they're all like, all right, we're buddies now.
Yeah. Well, he knows they're trailing him. He knows they've been tasked with tailing him and making sure that he leaves town, because he's pretty much agreed to do that. That was part of the condition of his release, and then them not calling his chief to report that he was there investigating that crime when he was specifically told not to. He was supposed to leave town. They trail him to the hotel. He loses them. He pulls some prank on them to lose them. Does more stuff, and then trying to track him again, and then he kind of leads them into a strip club.
Well, he doesn't. He flat out invites them to the strip club.
Well, yeah, he does. But he's like, you're supposed to be tailing me, aren't you?
Come on in. You might as well come in and have a good time. Yeah. Now, this is one of those films that I didn't realize I ever saw the actual movie. Because you watch these things on cable, and they come in like the USA Network or something like that in the middle of the night or the middle of the afternoon. And if you don't catch it on HBO, you don't get the actual film.
Oh, yeah.
So, there was a lot more breastises in this film than I remember. Now, that's happened quite a bit since I started watching the older films on DVD and Blu-ray and stuff. There was a lot more nudity in the films.
Yeah, that was kind of a staple of 80s films.
Yeah, you had to throw some nudity in there. But the strip club scene adds another bonding moment for him, because he...
that's where he really won them over.
Yeah.
Because he's there, and he looks like he's just having a good time and everything, and enjoying himself, but he's actually working. So he notices some shady looking guys. And he informs Taggart that, hey, these two guys look suspicious. So he tells him that he's going to watch the one guy, and he wants Taggart to keep an eye on the other one. And so it turns out that those guys are trying to rob the place. They foil the robbery.
We had a similar scene like that happen in Coming to America, didn't we?
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Which one?
No, they're working at the McDougal's or whatever it is.
What do they call that? McDonald's.
It's not McDonald's. That's another film with John Amos in it, and so he's working there, and they're cleaning up, and he's mopping the floor, and Sam Jackson comes in with a shotgun. This is before Sam Jackson was Sam Jackson. This is him before all the stardom, and he winds up disarming them and everything.
Yeah, with a mop.
With a mop, yeah.
Anyway, back to this film. This is how he wins them over, because they break up the robbery, and they end up they end up in front of the chief again, Bogle, and he's asking them what happened. And so Eddie Murphy comes up with this whole big elaborate story about how it was Rosewood and Taggart that,
made them out to be the heroes.
Yeah. They saw this robbery coming, and they went and disarmed the guys and ran them off themselves, and, made the arrest, fully on their own without any help from him.
Yeah, I was just an observer. Yeah. These guys were fast. Before I knew what was going on. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's Eddie Murphy, man. He's brilliant. I mean,
yeah. So that's when he really won them over, because they saw that, he's really gonna. He's not just there to, mess with them or whatever else. He's actually trying to help them out.
After that, they get taken off of him, and they bring in the next guys, which are, I guess, the generic version of Taggart and Rosewood. Yeah. And they come in, and it's like, oh, we're not going to fall for the we're not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe. So he immediately loses those guys, gets in more trouble, winds up being arrested again. And this is one kind of trying to figure out what's going on because he's being a little bit persistent with this thing, going after this one guy. Yeah. And then you have Taggart.
But yeah, this is when they tell them, no nonsense. Get him out of here.
Well, I mean,
and they task,
Yeah, Bogomil actually pulls him off to the side to begin with. He says, "Look, guys, don't tell me what you can prove. Tell me what you suspect."
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden, they're interested in being cops because they find out that he had a friend that was killed, and they're generally interested now. Then you have the chief come in because I think Bogomil's the lieutenant.
Yeah, he's either a captain or a lieutenant. The actual chief comes in, and he's like, he wants Foley out of there completely.
Yeah, he looked like an old Hollywood actor, and I couldn't realize where I had seen him before, and I think I did look it up. And he was a police commissioner in Death Wish.
Oh, okay.
But I still can't remember what his name was. Yeah, I mean, from there, the rest of the film happens. I mean, they catch the bad guys. I did a kill count on this.
Oh, yeah.
Believe it or not, Detective Billy Rosewood, the junior detective, had a kill count of 2. He was the first one to kill a bad guy in the film.
Well, there you go.
Picked up another guy at the shootout at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie Murphy's character killed 3. Well, 2.5, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Ronnie Cox's character, Lieutenant Bogomil, killed a half a guy because him and Eddie both shot the same guy at the end of the film. So I kind of, it's 1 kill for each, but it's the same guy. So it's kind of like a half kill.
Yeah.
Because they peppered that guy.
Yeah, they really did. That was also another kind of famous thing from the 80s.
Oh yeah, when you killed the bad guy, you bump him full.
The main bad guy gets really
in the action films.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, if it's a horror film, then you shoot him a couple of times, and then he shows up for one last scene to take somebody's head off.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this is a classic film. This is an amazing film.
It's funny how you said that earlier. The whole movie itself is kind of just setting up this one last scene, and by the time he kind of wins them over to get them on his side, it's already leading into the end.
What we both kind of left out is that they were told specifically not to follow him or not to get into any more trouble. He was supposed to be leaving town,
mm-hmm.
and he talks Rosewood into doing one last thing, and then everything goes to hell. And then Taggart shows up later on when they tracks him down with the GPS, which was unheard of in the 80s. But apparently they had the GPS tracking on the police cars back in the day.
Yeah.
Rather than call it in for backup, they decided to go in because there was the girl was kidnapped.
Yeah, so it was she was in imminent danger, so they knew they couldn't wait for backup.
Yeah.
So they went in.
Bogomil suspects something's going on because there's nobody in the office anymore. And, somebody was supposed to report back by then. So he starts doing some investigation. When he finds out that these guys are at the same location, Taggart and Rosewood, he sends all the police over there because he knows it's going down.
Just everyone?
Everyone. Yes. But yeah, no, that's Beverly Hills Cop. This is a great film. You really fall in love with Eddie Murphy in this film, and you watch him. You want to see the rest of his career.
Oh yeah, definitely. A very good start to a very promising career. Everything that he's in is just great. He draws you in. And he really makes you love his characters and want his character to. All
right, not on the list. Name 5 Eddie Murphy films.
5 Eddie Murphy films?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Trading Places.
That one's on the list, though.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Shrek.
All right.
He did voice acting on that one.
It's on the list, but I know you're not looking at it because we didn't mention it. Okay. But yeah, Shrek.
Let's see. Coming to America, but that's on the list. Nutty Professor, that's also on the list. Let me see. I know so many of his films. It's ridiculous, and I can't think of any of them right now.
No, that's because I put you on the spot.
You did. Okay, so he did a Christmas movie pretty recently. I can't remember what it was called. Candy Cane Lane or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
All right, so off the top of my head, Shrek 2.
Oh, come on. No, see, I was gonna go. Well, you got Beverly Hills Cop 2, Beverly Hills Cop 3, Beverly Hills Axel Foley.
No, can't do that. He was in a ton of stuff. So you mentioned his stand-up routine, which was
So the famous ones were Raw and Delirious.
Yeah, and both of those, I count those as films because they were actually released on HBO.
That's true.
And HBO is the home
And they are
box
both
office.
over an hour long, if I remember right. And
yeah, those were hilarious, but not
plays a run of characters on there as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Mr. T liked his impersonation of him.
Yeah, not kid friendly at all.
Yeah, no. But I do remember watching it when I was 10 years old. So
actually, that's true. Funny thing. So if you see or you hear Eddie Murphy in Shrek and you think, oh hey, this is a real wholesome guy and everything like that, and you want to show your kids any of his other stuff.
You got to be really careful.
Yeah,
you got to be really.
most of the rest of his stuff is pretty adult. I mean, you can do Nutty Professor and that new one that I was talking about.
I think once he matured enough and started having kids of his own, and I do believe he's got like 30 kids, right?
He's got a lot. Yeah.
I don't know if it's 30,
right.
but he's got a bunch of kids. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good for him. That's good for him.
Oh, yeah.
But that's where we lead into doing Shrek. He did Pluto Nash.
Yes.
Which is a sci-fi film that was supposed to be a comedy for kids.
Oh, and then he did that one where he was playing somebody who was
a giant mech robot like the Enterprise, but he was coming to the planet with little people in him.
Yeah. No, but I can't remember the name of that one.
I can't remember the name of that one either.
No, but there was the one where he plays the guy who they try to get to play him in a movie. Because that was Bowfinger. That one was with yes. That was Steve Martin. I think Steve Martin wrote that one. Oh yeah,
yeah. That he actually plays the director in that film. But no, that was hilarious. It was so convincing.
Mm-hmm.
It was so convincing because he played two characters in that. He plays
himself.
He plays himself as Eddie Murphy.
I think so.
Or was it another actor that was supposed to be Eddie Murphy type? I can't remember.
Well, I thought he did play the other guy who was supposed to be him in the movie, but...
Well, yeah, he did the two parts. So he did the Eddie Murphy part,
mm-hmm.
and then he did the lookalike part.
Yeah.
And the lookalike part was fantastic.
Yes.
He was chameleon in that one. So that was Bowfinger, and the kid-friendly movies. He did... Dr. Dolittle.
Yes, Dr. Dolittle.
He did Dr. Dolittle before Iron Man did.
Yes, he did. Robert Downey
Jr. I don't know what the deal is. You turn the microphone on, and I can't remember anything.
The Dr. Dolittle films were actually pretty good.
His Dr. Dolittle films were good. Yeah. And there was like 2 or 3 of those, right? 2 of them.
I know there were 2 of them for sure, but I think there might have been 3.
So, once he got old and he had kids, he wanted to do more kid-friendly stuff, and that's where you had the kid-friendly Eddie Murphy films.
Yeah.
Didn't he do Daddy Daycare?
Did he do that one? Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah, he was in a bunch of stuff. Oh my God, there was the one tiff that he had with David Spade.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so David Spade...
Oh, yeah.
David Spade did a bit on Saturday Night Live where they were doing the Weekend Update, and he was doing, celebrity...
That's right.
He was doing celebrity news on the Weekend Update, and he just flashed a picture of Eddie Murphy. I think this is when Pluto Nash came out, and the film was all right, but it was a flop because everybody was expecting more of an Eddie Murphy film, not the friendly.
Everyone's expecting Eddie Murphy to be, the raunchy Eddie Murphy that they remember, but this was a big turn. This was when he was trying to kind of
change his image up a little bit.
Yeah, do a cleaner image. So
David Spade got there and just all he did was hold up a photo of Eddie Murphy, or it flashed up on the screen, and he says, "Oh, look, kids, a falling star, or shooting star, or something like that." Yeah. No, it was falling star.
It was falling star. Yeah,
it was falling star, and he thought it was funny. And then as soon as he got off, of course, Eddie, being the alumni of Saturday Night Live, had the phone number directly there, and he gets off, and he goes, "Oh, I got a phone call from Eddie Murphy." So he goes over and takes the phone call, and Eddie just tears him up.
Yeah, which is kind of funny because, he's a comedian himself and, made a career out of kind of, poking fun at people and giving them, a little bit. And, you would think that he would see it as, some lighthearted ribbing, giving him a little, I guess Eddie didn't
little
really,
back and forth.
Yeah.
I don't think they knew each other, though, is what the problem was. So
you
had a stranger mouthing off about you.
Look.
And he did grow up in a rough neighborhood. Somebody talking smack that you don't know, you gotta put them back in their place.
Yeah, I guess I suppose you could look at it that way.
You figure there would be a little bit more professional courtesy involved with that.
Yeah, you'd think. Interesting because Norm Macdonald faced the same kind of heat over his OJ jokes, and so
he actually lost his job over the OJ jokes.
His response to that was just to, quadruple down on that and really lay into OJ about it, and he did end up losing his job.
Well, he did the same thing with the Clintons.
Oh yeah.
And,
oh man, yeah. His Clinton jokes were brutal,
yeah.
But that was normal.
We're gonna have to do dirty work.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, you can't tell someone like Norm Macdonald to ease up on anything because he's going to do the exact opposite of that.
Eddie Murphy was great. Judge Reinhold, I expected more out of his career, and he didn't really do a whole lot after that. He played pretty much the same character.
Played the same character in a lot of his movies. And yeah, you would think that he would have had kind of a more illustrious career. I will say that all his characters are, even though they're kind of mundane and everything like that, they're pretty memorable, and I think it's just because he's kind of a memorable guy.
Yeah, I mean, we had some real acting in this film. We tore up Bloodsport, which is a film we both love.
Yeah,
but the acting in it was absolutely terrible. But no, they showed up to work in Beverly Hills Cop. I mean, there were no unbelievable moments.
Yeah. So the thing about Bloodsport is it's one of those movies where it's the action scenes are going to speak for it. It's everything else was secondary. Everything else, it was not even secondary. Everything else was just so far down the list that it was just like, okay, it's just as long as the action scenes are epic, everything else can just kind of be on the back burner, I guess.
I think we're coming down. I want to talk more about Eddie Murphy, man. I can't talk enough about that guy.
We can always do more movies.
Oh, we can do Beverly Hills Cop 2.
We can do that.
That's the one where Bogomil gets shot up, and Sylvester Stallone's wife is a villain in that one.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, his wife for like a year.
Yeah, we could go on for hours talking about Eddie Murphy.
I mean, we could do Trading Places.
Yeah.
Which was a fantastic film with Dan Aykroyd. Mm-hmm. Jamie Lee Curtis, she was beautiful in that one.
Yes, she was.
Oh God, that was another one of those films that I watched, and I was like, oh yeah, I only saw this on like network television or something like that. Because there were breastises in that one too. Yeah.
They are not in the background either.
No, it's right there in front. Rubbing on Dan's face. Look, Beverly Hills Cop wouldn't be the same without its soundtrack, and that's why we're highlighting the Save the Music Foundation this week. They make sure kids actually get access to music education because not every future musician starts with the right opportunities. So if you ever had a song stick in your head from a movie like this, consider paying it forward. SaveTheMusic.org.
There you go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we always like to do these tie-ins, but of course, we're not associated directly with them. We don't receive any kind of residuals, or nobody's paying us to this. We just want...
Nobody's paying us. Nobody asked us.
Yeah. We watched a lot of G.I. Joe back in the day, and at the end of G.I. Joe or He-Man...
Well, this was a thing in the 80s.
Yeah.
I think it was the late 70s and throughout the 80s was... there had to be some sort of educational element to all the cartoon shows.
Well, yeah, but it stuck with us. It you gotta pay it forward whenever you get a chance. So
yeah, they just the main thing is they didn't want kids watching a bunch of garbage. They wanted them to actually get something out of it.
I mean, why would fighting good and evil? Why would that be considered garbage? That's what I want to know. But
they're just worried that it was just mindless entertainment. And
well, they were giant advertisements for the toys.
Yeah.
But
well, that was the other thing too, because they didn't want them to just be just advertisements.
Well, they had to be entertaining for us to want to buy the toys, though. So
yeah, obviously, but that's where it comes in, though. They wanted some sort of educational element to it. They didn't want it to just be. Well, you're just trying to sell our kids something.
Yes, they are.
Well, even though they were, it was like, well, but see, we're teaching them something.
Well, we're trying to get together for a third, a female host to come in, to do the Transformers the movie from 1986. We wanted to get a girl's perspective on what the film was. We're in talks,
which was something that
hopefully,
of course, the reason why is because it was a movie that was really pushed towards little boys at the time.
Yeah, but it was like the first female Transformer appeared in it.
Yeah, yeah.
I do know that the host that we're trying to get in, she is a fan of the film because her brother was a fan of the film. Mm-hmm. So, well, I don't know. We'll get into that. There's a whole bunch of stuff. They wind up killing a bunch of characters just to replace the toy line. Yeah. Very traumatic.
They traumatized a bunch of kids just so that they could sell them new toys.
I watched a documentary on that, and it was the back and forth, the whole behind the scenes on this thing was amazing because they were trying to make the studio was trying to make the film more violent. Yeah. And the actual writers were talking them out of that.
I think they were trying to do the same thing with the G.I. Joe movie as well. Because Duke was actually supposed to die in that movie.
Yeah, they had to kill it.
Yeah, after seeing how traumatized kids were about, Optimus Prime and all them.
Well, everybody plays up Optimus. Well, we're going to stop there because if we keep on going, we'll be just doing the Transformers the movie one. That's true. We got that one coming up. We'll try to get that out of here in the next month or so. Thank you very much for tuning in. You've been listening to what we saw on Stolen Cable. This particular episode was I learned to be a true friend watching Beverly Hills Cop. I've been your host, Uncle Patches, and I'm here with
Sinister Cinema.
All right, man. Thank you very much for coming back this week. We'll see y'all later.
See you.